Well, hello there, you wonderful humans, and welcome back to Disney Dreamlight Valley. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my top tips and tricks to help you get rich, level up fast, and just in general enjoy the game even more. These are all going to be tips that the game doesn't outright tell you, and I really do hope you all enjoyed today's video. Now, first things first is inventory management. In any game like this, dealing with your inventory can become quite a bit of a nightmare, but there's actually some really amazing things in Disney Dreamlight Valley that's really gonna make your life super simple, and the game does not tell you any of this. Now, if you head over to the workbench near Goofy's, you have the ability to craft new chests to be able to store all of your items. These are pretty cheap to be able to craft. It's only 25 softwood and 25 stone. I've already crafted a couple of these, so I'm not gonna make any more right now, but they're way more functional than just a place to store your items. Crafting these storage chests is probably the most efficient way of expanding your storage at an early game because it does get quite expensive to upgrade your house storage, and they do come with 20 slots per chest, which is pretty awesome. So I've started separating things into like flowers and then crafting materials, and you can really organize this however you want. But you'll notice I really don't have much in my inventory right now, and the amazing thing about not only these chests but your house storage is that anything you put in them is accessible anywhere. So you actually don't need to carry tons of items in your inventory, which is amazing. This is something I wish more life sims would do because it really allows us to unleash our inner hoarder, and we really don't have to worry about inventory management. And when I say it's accessible from anywhere, I'm in Chez Remy's right now, and I have access to my entire house storage. This works for all of your workbenches as well. Now, while we're at Remy's, we might as well go on to the next tip. If you're going to be experimenting with any kind of cooking, I highly recommend experimenting at Remy's because he's going to give you context clues to if you're cooking something good or not. You can see as we put things in, he kind of reacts to what we're doing. And if we start making something really good, he's gonna put his hands up in the air like he just don't care. And this is pretty great. So if I added some butter in here, maybe put a blueberry on there, he's going to get really excited. And that means we're potentially going to make something really good. Or at least different, right? So we got jam waffles here, which is pretty awesome. So it's basically a fruit, wheat, eggs, and milk. And I didn't even need to have the butter in there. So it's a really great way to unlock new types of recipes. Now this brings me to my next tip, which is really like 2 or 3 tips all in one. It all has to do with characters. Now when you unlock a character and get them to level 2, you get the ability to assign them like a specialty or a bonus that they get when they hang out with you. And I highly recommend at least making sure you have one villager with the gardening bonus. And we'll get into the reason why in just a moment, but you also want to make sure you at least have all of the bonuses assigned to one of your villagers. But over time, you also want to make sure that you assign like fishing and the other bonuses to various villagers, so that way you can always get bonuses when you're doing something around your village. This means you're always going to want to have some of your villagers following you around, especially the ones that you want to level up. And gardening is one of the best ways to do this. I made a whole video on how to level up fast and how to make tons of money, and gardening is absolutely insane. Look at that. We already got good old Wally another level from gardening, and having him follow me around while I'm gardening with the gardening trait means I'm also going to make a lot more money. Like we can harvest all of these right here, and you can see as we do this, he's also going to be farming along with us. And the higher level they get, the more items they're going to provide you for this, which means you're going to make even more money. Now, if you want to watch the whole video on how I kind of deep dive into this, feel free to check it out. I'll leave a link in the description, but it's pretty amazing. Now, this bonus gets really crazy once you have them maxed out because you're just going to be getting so many bonus items when you're farming, but this works for literally anything else too. Like if you're fishing, make sure to bring your fishing pal along. It's pretty self-explanatory. Now, another thing to keep an eye out on Now, another thing to pay attention to when you're farming is that each biome has specific plants that are going to grow faster in that area, and they'll have a green arrow above them. Now for the next tip. One of the things that I love about Disney Dreamlight Valley is your ability to really customize everything. If you go into your inventory and then go to furniture, while you're outside, you can click the Y button or whatever button it is to close that little menu, and then you can actually pick up and move anything. Now, not only can you move it, you can also remove it and put it right into your inventory so that if you don't know where exactly you want it right now, you can figure it out later. And this goes for all the lights. You can pan around on the camera. We can pick up all of these items. We can move them around and we can use them wherever we want, whenever we want. This goes for houses too. If you don't like where a house is, pick it up and move it. No, you can't stuff it into your pocket because it's a little too big, but the fact that you can just go around and move anything you want is just so freaking amazing. Now this next tip I'm going to try and give without providing any spoilers. You see these little stumps in the ground and maybe that coral down there. You're probably wondering, well, how do I clear those up? Well, you actually need to upgrade your tools. You're going to need to upgrade your shovel for these stumps and then the pick for the coral down on the beach. And the way you do this is by unlocking new areas or villagers. Now, if we go to our map, we can see that we've unlocked the meadows, which is your first place, the Dazzle Beach where the coral is. Now, to get the upgraded shovel, you're going to need to unlock the Forest of Valor. You're going to need to do the main quest line associated with this area to be able to upgrade your shovel. Now, to be able to upgrade the pick, you're actually going to need to unlock Maui and Moana, which means you're going to need to unlock their area, bring them to your village, and do their main quest line. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is not necessarily a tip, but some additional information for you would-be Dreamlight Valley players out there. I've been getting a ton of questions about multiplayer for the game, and while there is no multiplayer currently available in early access, it is 100% confirmed now that they've reached their wishlist goal that multiplayer will be added to the game. Now, I don't know if multiplayer will be added during the early access period or if they're going to wait until the full release for that, but I am really excited for it because I cannot wait to see the amount of creativity that is going to come out of this game, because quite frankly, I feel like there's more potential for creativity in this particular game than there ever was with Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, don't get me wrong, I do love Animal Crossing New Horizons, but your ability to be able to customize everything in this game is really exciting. I'm actually far more pleased with this game than I ever anticipated being. And I know there's been a lot of questions also about the, microtransactions and things like this, with this being a free-to-play game once it officially releases in 2023. And while I do understand the worry for it, they have said that there's not going to be microtransactions in the game. I imagine the way they're going to make funding is the same way that companies like Fall Guys and things like that have, where they have a battle pass that you can unlock some extra items by buying the battle pass, but all of the content updates will be free to play, like new character additions, new items that are being added to the game, and they're going to make all of their money for continuously updating the game through things like the battle pass, because they have in fact said that they are not going to be adding microtransactions, so we're never going to have to worry about running out of stamina and having to spend premium money, or real life money to be able to play longer. And the fact is, you could play this game non-stop right now. It's pretty insane how much there is to do in the game, and I'm really excited for the future of the game. But the thing that I'm most excited about is the multiplayer, being able to play with friends and be able to share the world that we build, because the map is massive. I mean, look at all of this area that we'll be able to explore and decorate. And I can only imagine that it'll be expanded over time as well. Really excited for the future of Disney Dreamlight Valley. Thank you so much for hanging out. And if you have any tips or tricks that you want to share with the community, feel free to leave a comment on this video or message me on Twitter and Discord, and I'll get it put into a video and make sure to give you credit.